Sometimes I will wonder if I could stop procrastinating, I'd probably be able to get more job done, have more time to spend with my loved ones, go to the gym more often. As a result, I'll probably get paid more, have better relationships, and get fitter, maybe even become more quote-unquote successful or feel happier. But none of these are happening because I haven't made a change yet. But change is hard. It is so hard that I would much rather to continue to tolerate my miserable life, because for a change to happen, a cost must be paid. And the willingness to pay that cost depends on three important factors. Let's take relationship, for example. It may come off as cruel or cold, but really this is how it is. Let's say you've been in a relationship for a while, long-time relationship. So you've had more goods than bad, but for whatever reason, you two have been thinking about maybe breakup. So will you make the change or the decision, in other words, will you break up or not, really depends on these three factors. First, the dissatisfaction of the current situation. Are you not up to her standard? Maybe yes, and not to a point where it's unbearable, then you'll probably be fine. But if it's up to a point that's unbearable and spending time with you make her suffer, then you're already ruled out. Second, the vision of the future. Is the future brighter without you? If yes, well, sometimes we don't even need to have a certain answer. We just need to be able to anticipate the future to be potentially brighter. Maybe sometimes it's just, to be different. That's already enough. If the answer is yes, then the urge to change becomes stronger. And lastly is the practicality of changing from the current situation to the future situation. Say being together is unhappy and the future is obviously brighter, and transitioning from the current situation to the future situation is relatively easy, then a breakup is pretty much guaranteed. If you have strong ties, say you have kids, mutual economic benefits, then you may continue on as a couple until when you are not. So a divorce is highly likely. An ongoing unhappy marriage is another possibility. So like I said, for a change to happen, a cost must be paid, and the willingness to pay that cost depends on the dissatisfaction of the current situation and the vision of the future situation, and the practicality of changing from the current situation to the future situation. This is true to relationships. This is true to procrastination. This is true to whenever you need to make a change. It is so hard. It often means more effort and more pain, but at the same time, it also means there is a possibility for something that can be potentially brighter or different to happen. Of course, it comes with uncertainty, but the future is uncertainty. There is a chance, and that's all we need. It's already enough. The easier option would probably be continue to live a miserable life, which often is a lot more predictable, convenient, and sometimes even more comfortable. But living such a life can also mean living a life with a lot of regrets, and we don't want that. But it is so much easier for us to say, well, something just cannot work, instead of trying to figure out a way to make it work. Like in a relationship crisis, it's so much easier for us to think, oh, can we make this work? If we can't, let's just break up. Instead of thinking about, oh, how can we make this work? That often means overcoming a lot of difficulties, and that's hard. But the thing is, substantial improvements don't happen by merely patching the existing method. It often requires a complete redesign, meaning that you have to give up the previous method completely. And that means you have to be willing to do things that 95% of the people don't even understand or choose not to understand, and 99% of the people won't be willing to do. And you have to be willing to do that. That requires you to be exceedingly confident about what you're doing. Be sure that you're making the right decision. Even if you don't, you have to have this faith in yourself and to be certain about what you want and who you want to be. If you don't, your life is going to be so miserable, and there's going to be so many inner conflicts in your mind. So what I learned is to make the right change, we need to develop a overarching philosophy of what it means to live, who you want to be, what you want, and be clear about those answers. Very, very clear. Know what you want, know who you want to be, and make decisions align with your answers. Pain suffered will pay off one day. Say if you identify yourself as a productive person, but you couldn't stop procrastinating, you'll never be able to feel happy because what you do essentially contradicts with who you are as a person. And if it's in a relationship and you or the other person becomes a force of keeping you or the other person from becoming the person that you want to be, staying together is going to be painful for both of you, no matter how deep you love each other. If it takes so long for the other person to even just, bring up the topic of breakup, when everything is wrong, everything's going to the wrong direction, and everything might be right without your participation in their life, well, that person probably loves you deeply. So in that case, you really should set them free, and most importantly, set yourself free, because they are making a decision, a change for themselves, but they are also making a change for you. What matters the most is really through that change, you get one step closer to who you want to be in the future. I really hope that all makes sense to you. Maybe makes you think about all the changes that's been long overdue in your life. My name is Kevin. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.